Thank you very much, Program Director Ms. Lizelle Wilson, the Honourable Premier Dr. Zobani Sol, the Honourable Minister for DTIC, Minister Pax Tao, the Minister for Small Business Development, Minister Ndabeni, the Minister for Energy and Electricity, Minister Ramakopa, all the members of the Executive Council who are present with us, the members of Parliament, our international guests, the Ambassador of Vietnam, the Consul General of the People's Republic of China, and the Agent Consular of Angola, the Executive Mayor of the host city, Mayor Barbara Bartlett, Makhosi a rona a leng teng, Kgosi Janki, leaders of business and industry, distinguished investors, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is both an honor and privilege to share with you the purpose of the Northern Cape's Jobs and Investment Conference that is taking place today in Kimberley, famously known as the Diamond City. A city that once stood at the center of economic transformation, a city that pioneered electric street lighting before many of the world's great capitals, a city whose discovery of diamonds in the 19th century reshaped not only South Africa's economy, but the global mining industry itself. Kimberley is not just a place, it is a symbol of innovation, of possibility, and of what can happen when opportunity meets ambition. And yet, just a few kilometers from this venue, the Big Hole stands as a permanent reminder of a different reality. It reminds us of a time when immense wealth was drawn from beneath the swell, but very little of that wealth was transformed into lasting local development. For too long, Kimberley, and indeed the Northern Cape, has been defined by extraction without transformation. Resources left this land, value left this land, and opportunity left this land. We are gathered here today to ensure that that historical pattern does not define our future. Ladies and gentlemen, we meet at a decisive moment, not only for this province, but for this country. If one were to map South Africa's economy, the concentration of growth is unmistakable. Economic activity has historically been clustered within a narrow triangle, which is Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, and the Western Cape, while the rest of the country has too often been treated as a hinterland, a place where resources are extracted, loaded into trains, and transported elsewhere, leaving behind limited economic depth. The Northern Cape has lived that reality, but we're no longer prepared to accept it. This conference is not a routine gathering. It is not a theoretical discussion. It is not a platform for abstract policy debate. It is a point of rupture, a deliberate break from an economic model that has constrained the province for generations. We are here to chart a new course, a course that moves us from extraction to beneficiation, from potential to performance, and from isolation to integration into the global value chains. We are setting ourselves a clear and measurable target. By 2030, we will grow the Northern Cape's economy to 200 billion. And in so doing, we will create 60,000 sustainable jobs. And I emphasize on sustainable. We're not interested in temporary employment that disappears once construction ends. We are building industries that will endure, industries that will employ generations to come. We want chemical engineers working in battery precursor plants, technicians operating green hydrogen facilities, logistics specialists managing export corridors, agro-processors turning our agricultural output into global competitive products, and sustainable MSMEs in the province. This is the future that we are building. We're not starting from zero. Despite contributing the smallest share to the national GDP, the Northern Cape has demonstrated resilience. We have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country, and in the last quarter of 2025 alone, we created 17,000 new jobs. And since 2020, we've overseen more than 25 billion in infrastructure investment and facilitated the creation of approximately 80,000 new jobs. The momentum is already there. Our responsibility now is to scale it decisively and deliberately. And to do this, we've structured our jobs plan around 4 core economic engines. The first engine is mining and beneficiation. The Northern Cape holds 80% of the world's known manganese reserves and is a major global producer of iron ore. Yet, historically, we have yet trapped in an extractive model, digging resources out of the ground and exporting them in raw form. And that era is coming to an end. We are now driving a strategy of localized beneficiation, We are targeting rare earths, lithium, and green steel production. We are building industrial capacity within our special economic zones. And our message is simple. If you mine in the Northern Cape, you must process in the Northern Cape. The second engine is renewable energy and green hydrogen. This province is the geographic center of South Africa's energy transition. We already host more than half of the country's renewable energy projects. We produce more renewable energy than we consume. But we must move beyond generation. We are building a complete energy ecosystem from generation to storage to export. We are planning large-scale grid expansion and unlocking the green hydrogen value chain. Energy is no longer a standalone sector, it is a foundation of industrial growth. The third engine is agriculture and agro-processing. The Northern Cape produces world-class agricultural products, nuts, dates, raisins, and more. But agriculture must evolve beyond primary production. We're investing in cold chain logistics, agro-processing facilities, and export-orientated value chains. Our objective is clear. The products grown in the Northern Cape must be processed, must be packaged, and branded in the Northern Cape. The fourth engine is tourism and destination development. From the vast Kalahari landscapes to the globally significant square kilometer array, this province offers a unique tourism proposition. We are developing tourism as an infrastructure-led sector, one that drives investment, connectivity, and rural development. Tourism for us is not just about visitors, it is about economic ecosystems. Ladies and gentlemen, having a vision is one thing, executing is another. We understand a simple truth. Capital does not respond to promises. It responds to certainty, efficiency, and credibility. And that is why we are fundamentally changing how government engages with investors. We've launched the Invest SA one-stop shop, bringing together all key regulatory functions under one roof. And this is not symbolic, it is a structural reform. Our goal is to reduce regulatory approval timelines to not more than 180 days. Here at this conference, we have established a deal-making chamber. This is where conversations becomes commitments, where ideas are converted into bankable projects. We're not here to produce reports, we are here to produce results. Beyond this conference, every commitment made will be tracked through a centralized investment tracking system. We'll monitor investment value, job creation, project timelines, regulatory bottlenecks, and we will intervene decisively where obstacles arise. Ladies and gentlemen, the Northern Cape stands today not as a frontier of extraction, but as a frontier of new growth in the country, South Africa. We have the minerals the world needs, we have the renewable power to power the future, we have the land and scale and the strategic vision, but we cannot do this alone. This moment calls for a new social compact, one that brings together government, business, and society in shared commitment in development. Every investment must leave something behind: skills, enterprises, infrastructure, and sustainable jobs. So today, we extend a clear invitation. Partner with us, invest with us, build with us. And when we gather for the Accord session, we are not seeking intentions, we are seeking agreements. The Northern Cape is open for business. The foundation has been laid. The machinery is in motion. Let us move from potential to performance, from extraction to transformation, and from vision to execution. And together, let us build the future economy of the Northern Cape and that of South Africa.